Hello everyone! I did it. I bought the Weeks 2026. I was not planning on buying another planner, but I was meditating on what journal I was going to use for 2026. I have been using this Leuchtturm in the A6 size, and I was not sure if I wanted to go on. I feel like I need a change. And since my journaling has been shorter lately, I'm not even journaling every day, I thought the Weeks would be perfect. Maybe it's me just finding an excuse to buy it. It could be. I've done that in the past. But we shall see. I have used the Weeks before. I love these planners. And I've never used them as journals. So I will have to be a bit creative because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with it. But I do have some ideas, and I will show you that later. However, I thought it would be fun, since we are on the Hobonichi topic, to show you how I've used my Hobonichis in the past. I've only had these two, which I love. This was my first one. I bought it because of the cover. I fell in love with the bunnies. I had never had a Hobonichi before, and I loved it. I loved it so much that for 2024, I bought 3 Hobonichis, 3 planners, which was absurd for me because I was planning on how to plan, which was crazy. I don't need that, to be honest. But let's see, I want to start with 2024 because it's not as exciting as 2023. Although I think it's fun to see how my style has pretty much stayed the same even now when I'm using this moleskin. So let's go ahead and start with this planner. All right, let's see. December. This is my only page that has stickers, I think, in this planner. The rest is very functional, ugly, and sometimes minimal, sometimes it's tidy, sometimes it's not. But December, I cannot help myself. It's Christmas, I want the colors, even if it's just this. So I was just writing here appointments and important dates, you know, birthdays and things like that. That's January. I feel that when you're not decorating, it looks better if you write the appointments or whatever it is that you're tracking in your month list really big, because here it sort of gets lost. So that's March. As you can see, it's not very nice. I don't know. July, I must have been in another planner. Also November and December, I had given up completely on my system. That's why I did my reset year in 2025. If you saw my video, I did not buy any planner. I was so overwhelmed by having, I don't know how many planners and journals, and it was insane. So as you can see, it was forgotten. And here's the weeklies. I like this weekly very much. So I was doing here my appointments, and here I was doing my to-dos for the day. I was tracking the weather, some shopping, and my notes. I think this looks very tidy. That's how it always starts with me and my planner. Super tidy, super nice. The same layout. Here I just changed this part. Here it's already going downhill. I'm not using it. Here I wrote my goals in this format, sort of vertically on the page. I like it. I don't know why I do it. It's not really necessary, but I kind of feel that they stand out from the rest. I mean, knitting notes like always. An ugly page. Here is when I injured myself. I had a ski gondola accident, but I was down for a week. Only now I am starting to really heal after a year and a half. Imagine that. So more ugly pages. I mean, they're not ugly, they're just functional. I feel that the planner in a way sometimes shows what's going on in your life. I was not having the time to put stickers and all that, even if I like that. But you can see that I was using the planner. I can realize because usually I keep a pen for a planner. But if I'm busy, I forget it, I leave it everywhere. So here I just grab whatever I need so that I do not forget the stuff. There's also another color here. So I like to see that. It shows that the planner is serving you. For instance, look at this. I don't know. Of course, objectively, it's not pretty or anything like that, but it worked. Swiss Yarn Festival, that was fun. Coming back, trying to track the weather again. Look at this page. I kind of like it. I do love it. I called my grandma here. What is this? A pattern that I was doing for a sock, the heel. Some more pages. Oh, I tried stickers here, just notes. Now I'm coming back to pretty spreads, or what I call pretty, you know, that I have taken my time to do it. Here I was tracking my meals. Well, it's actually meal planning, I'm sorry. We were doing a Mediterranean eating plan. It was very good. And failing at my tracking. It's not that I don't do the tasks, but I was failing in coming back to the planner and mark it. Shopping lists. More knitting notes. My goodness, all the things that one you don't have forgotten, but how life changes year through year. Here I remember it was my dad's appointment because he was struggling with his health and we were really worried, and now everything is fine again and we are so grateful. But to see all these, and it sort of makes sense that I was taking knitting notes, because usually I feel that knitting is a good way to turn off your brain, especially if you knit something difficult where you have to count rows or stitches, because you are so concentrated on that your brain cannot think of the other thing. So sometimes it's a good way to at least relax from all those thoughts, especially when you cannot do anything, just pray and wait, that's all. But we are happy that it's over. These are just, what is this? Oh, these are fabric. Okay. Yeah, this is fabric and what it means, because I sew, so sometimes I go to a shop to buy fabric and you only get it's not initials, but like code words, and I don't know what it means. So all blank. This is December. I had given up already. So that's pretty much it. Not very exciting, but very functional when I used it. All right, now let's move to my 2023 Hobonichi Weeks, which I adore, and it's the notebook that made me fall in love with the brand. So let's see. Here all my monthlies, or for the most part, they are decorated. That's December. I love it. Here we were in Rome. I love February. These are stickers from the Happy Planner. I think it looks so romantic without being too pink, because I don't like pink that much. Spring, beautiful. April, May, June, not a lot going on. July, super summery and fun. These stickers I think are from Heidi Swap, except for these two. I don't know where they are from. I don't remember. August. Oh, my brother came to visit. How fun. September, October, I traveled a lot. November and December, I was tracking something else. And this page is just future planning, but not decorated, because I had already moved into this one. So let's go through the weeks very quickly. knitting notes, more socks, appointments, house cleaning, chores, more knitting, and here is to-dos, I think. This was something that I was trying out with what I wanted to do each room. So I have here my deep cleaning kitchen, attic, bedroom, blah blah blah, and I was just crossing out. I guess I was cleaning a lot this week. This tracker was more or less decent. This is a bit more minimal. Some trackers here which actually worked very well. This is our trip to Rome, so here I was just writing down the places that we were visiting. More of the same. Another little journal entry. Ink spill. Tracking, very smudged page. I don't know what happened there. Goals again like these. Here I was trying to divide my weeks into categories, so appointments, things that I had to do at home, and my meals. More pages like these. It's funny to see how the same structure is repeated from week to week, even through the years. Of course, there are some things that are changing, but I can even see it in my weekly now that I sort of keep the same layout. I change a few things, of course, depending on what I need, but it stays for the most part like that. That speaks to each one's personal style and what works for you, so that's also a good thing to look back and see what is it that you like, so that you know what you need for the next year. So it's pretty obvious in me how it is that I do things. I did not want to use stickers, so I was trying to at least do some decorative writing. Oh, here I got COVID. It was the worst week of my life, and also it was horrible because we got it at the same time, my husband and I. So I was lucky that I had been storing food just in case, because they had told us to do. So more pages like these. Something happy. Experimenting with other formats. Again, dividing by categories. More categories even. Here I was trying to learn Latin and ancient Greek. I love it. I have to go back to that in 2026 because I love ancient languages, and Greek especially I do like very much. These are not trackers. These are kind of just a to-do list and marking the day that I was doing them. Obviously I did almost everything on Monday, so good for me. Same here. Another way to track the goals, to just keep them in mind: weekly cleaning tasks, daily cleaning tasks, and habits. But it's not a tracker, it's just sort of reminders. Same here. I wanted to do one of those cool charts, and it was going to be about my drawing time, but it didn't work. Again, I did not even start it here. Oh, here I went to Lima, then to New York. Almost the same. And my notes, I was using again, trying to do collections, home improvement projects, gardening projects, meeting notes, more meeting notes, journaling, a recipe, and then just more random notes. Nothing really stands out to me here. So let's see. For my new Hobonichi, why I want this as a journal? Well, I said before that I don't have a lot. I'm not journaling a lot lately. So I thought the weeklies could serve as just little notes on what happened each day, and I feel like the space is so small that there is no pressure. I will be able to keep that. And the page on the right I would use to do like a little summary of the week with pictures or decoration. I bought the Megas because my journaling habits change a lot throughout the year. Sometimes I don't need it as much, like now, but then suddenly I need to grab that notebook and I write 3 pages per day. So this is going to be a complement of this. I maybe even start writing whatever is happening, and I can write continue in page blah, and then you can go to the page and there it is. I also think that's fun. I'm super excited about the monthlies because I have a very specific plan for them. I want to use these monthlies to write down every milestone that I have, even if it's insignificant, like knitting a pair of socks. I feel that in the past years I have been a little bit harsh on myself and downplaying certain things that should not have to. And you know what? I want to celebrate, not in the way of throwing a party or opening a bottle of champagne because you finish a pair of socks or a book or get a job. Well, maybe then yes, but just to one day open this notebook and see all the things that I achieved that month. I think that's going to be very good for the soul, and I'm looking forward to that very much. And the idea of my tracker comes because I've realized that I would have wanted to track something this year that I didn't. Oh, okay, sorry about that. This year, I read a lot of books in the Bible. There is a sort of record in my journals because I have mentioned them, I have written about them, or maybe I have quoted a verse. But there is not an overview. So I don't even remember which books I have read or how many. So I think what I want to do is something that I've been practicing here. It's nothing fancy or anything like that, but for instance, if I start reading Matthew here, Matthew 8, just draw an arrow of all the days that it takes me to finish that chapter. So I want to do that in this planner because I think it would be cool to one day see all the books that I have read of the Bible. And maybe here I can write a little summary of the books of the month, something like that. So that is my plan for this Hobonichi. So that's all I have for today. I hope you have a nice day. Thank you for watching, and until next time. Bye!